Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I want to share some things I've learned. I had surgery last Wednesday on my nose, my sinuses. I have some splints. I have some tubes inside my sinuses and my nose. So a little bit discomfort. But I've learned some things. The surgery I had to use a lot of saline, and this is what they provided me. If you can see all these big words right there, all these chemicals are basically some preservatives with this saline. This burned my nose, something fierce. I tried another kind that also had the preservatives in it, burned severely, not worth anything. I'm using the simple saline. There's no chemicals in here as in sense of preservatives. This has been wonderful. I have used one whole container, and this one is getting empty, so I'll probably during the whole recovery on my surgery I've used 2 of these. This was a must product. Without this I would be in trouble. Probably would be in the emergency room with a lot of pain because of the pressure that builds up. This keeps my nose and my sinuses flowing and relieves a lot of pressure. So this is a must. I will be adding a few more cans of this to my survival medical stockpile. Highly recommend this. Also want to talk about Kleenexes. I've used a lot of Kleenexes. They were a must. Yeah, keeping your nose, clean is just needed every day. But because of the surgery I had, the Kleenexes have been very helpful. So highly recommend these. I'm actually going to put some of these Kleenexes into my medical supplies and leave them designated only for medical emergencies or for a situation like my surgery. Another thing I learned is the recliner. Yeah, you might think a recliner is not a survival item. Yes, really it is. With my back injury I had, the recliner gave me a lot of relief from pain, and it's also is the place I'm sleeping now since the surgery on my nose. It helps to keep my head up. As soon as I lay down, my sinuses and my nose stop up. I get a lot of pressure, creates a headache. So the recliner to me is a medical piece of equipment at this point. So maybe you have a bug out location, you might want to consider a recliner. Yeah, you can probably take some nice long naps at the bug out location, but it's also good for if you have a medical emergency. Also want to talk about the splint and the tubes in both of my nostrils. Are attached. I did not know that, but my wife was looking yesterday and she could see a staple, and they're stapled into my inside of my nose so they don't come out. I was thinking worst case, if something drastically happened where I could not get back to the doctor to have those removed, do I have the equipment, do I have the knowledge, or do I know people in my area where they could walk to me and remove these tubes? So you might have some type of implant, you might have some type of equipment that takes regular medical care to maintain it, whatever it might be. In a worst case event, if you could get to this treatment, could you do it yourself? So just challenging you. If someone's in your group has some type of equipment that usually the doctor or nurse maintains in some way, could you guys take care of your friend in a worst case? Tuesday I will have these tubes removed, so I should be feeling so much better. Just some things to think about. Saline solution, tissues, a recliner. Might not think a lot, but these were very important things in the last week for me for my surgery. Thanks for watching.